Hi, all. I'm Tim, and you're not. Be very thankful for that. Now, let's take a look through the eyes of Yeshua at today's modern believers. As a whole, the vast number of people who identify as being a follower of the one who wrote the Torah, taught the Torah, and explicitly told us that he was not doing away with his word. Yes, Yeshua. Matthew 5:17 through 19. Most believers today refuse to learn or live by God's instructions. They make excuses to ignore the first and most stressed sign of a true believer, the seventh-day Shabbat. Yeshua sees these men and women buying and selling on the day he said to rest, and then on the first day of the week, meeting in fancy buildings where they should be working to take care of their families. An undeniable clear sign of the Antichrist will be to change times and seasons, including the biblical day of worship, Daniel 7:25. Since they don't understand or follow the ways of God, it's very easy to substitute divinely mandated 7 feasts of Adonai with their own secularly derived versions. So Yeshua sees these currently living believers celebrating holidays he takes no pleasure in, and he sees them going to church buildings that he may refuse to enter. He is not at all obliged to show up at man's preferred dates. Yah wrote the Torah, and he follows his own perfect instructions. The third sign is that of circumcision. It's rationalized away as being anachronistic or barbarian. You see, this is one of those instructions a true believer adheres to, not because it makes sense, but because Yah commands it, and we desire to demonstrate our love through an act of obedience. The fourth sign, when it comes to what people eat, well, they become nearly manic. Years ago, before I was Torah observant, I worked alongside a fellow who was a, quote, good Sunday church Christian. He had told me once, out of the blue, I may be a Christian, but I will never give up my rock and roll music or my bacon. When Messiah looks on a person who claims the love and devotion to him, yet partake in the equivalent of a satanic communion vis-a-vis eating pork, how it must hurt his heart. Matthew 15:8. And finally, number 5. When the Master looks at today's world, unfortunately, he sees very few who claim faith in him actually wearing tzitzit on the 4 corners of their clothing. Even those of us who are trying to live by the entire word often fail to practice this simple wish of the Father. They say, it is no use, for we walk according to our own plans, and we do each one the stubbornness of his evil heart. That's Jeremiah 18:12. I myself did not start to regularly wear the tzitzit until my wife and I had accepted the veracity of the Torah some 3 years earlier. There is no better time to start than now. For some, it is being timid about our faith. What will friends and family say? We make this a much, much bigger issue than it really is, at least in North America. I've been wearing tzitzit daily for at least 4 years. You know what? I've yet to have a single person ask me about it. If we can't do this simple action, well, then fear and trembling is all we can look forward to. There are no cowards in the world to come. Revelation 21:8. When you decide Messiah is more important than your, quote, reputation, you're ready. Read what the word actually says concerning the tzitzit. It's in Numbers 15:37, 15 through 15:16, and Deuteronomy 22:12. You have a lot of free will discretion on its length, thickness, number of cords or strings, and even colors. The only true stipulations are that it appear on the 4 corners of your clothing, i.e. north, south, east, and west, like a compass. As Jehovah encircles the earth, so his Torah is to encircle or surround the believers, and it must contain a blue cord. This represents a royal God. I personally make the tzitzit my wife and I wear. Actually, we do them together. We have a blue cord in the middle and 2 green cords on the outside. All three are braided together. A threefold cord is not easily broken. That's Ecclesiastes 12:4. For my wife, we sometimes use blue and 2 pink or even multicolored cords. I try to have them long enough so as to be seen with my shirt untucked. I wear them on my belt. Some will tie them on pant loops, and some will poke a hole on 4 corners of shirts and attach them directly there. Yah gives you freedom to wear as you prefer. Just remember, you don't hide your light under a bushel. Matthew 5:15. To close, for a blood-bought, spirit-led believer in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, and Messiah Yeshua, there can only be one final authority, the Word of Yah. Let us peruse a few verses and draw out emphasis of this video into proper perspective. Quote, if you do turn back your foot from the Shabbat, from doing your pleasure on my Kadosh, or holy day, and call it the Shabbat a delight, the Kodesh, or holy of Jehovah, esteemed, and shall esteem it, not doing your own ways, nor finding your own business, nor speaking your own words. Then you shall delight yourself in Jehovah, and I shall cause you to ride on the height of the earth, and feed you with the inheritance of Jacob, your father. For the mouth of Jehovah has spoken. That's Isaiah 58:13-14. And let not the son of the foreigner who has joined himself to Jehovah speak, saying, Jehovah has certainly separated me from his people. I give them an everlasting name that is not cut off. Also the sons of the foreigner who join themselves to Jehovah, to serve him, and to love the name of Jehovah, to be his servants, all who guard the Shabbat, and not profane it, and hold fast to my covenant. That's Isaiah 56:4d-6. But those who forsake the Torah praise the wicked. He who turns away his ear from hearing the Torah, even his prayer is an abomination. That's Proverbs 28:4-9. And this is the love, that we walk according to his commands, that his command that you have heard from the beginning, that you should walk in it. 2 John 6. Here's the endurance of the Kodashim, that's the saints. Here are the endurance of the saints who are guarding the commands of Jehovah and belief in Yeshua. That's Revelation 14:12. The Lord God who gathers the dispersed of Israel declares, I will yet gather others to them, to those already gathered. Isaiah 56:8. Shalom.